Hello, everyone. Welcome back, or welcome to Two Gents and Two Cents. Uh, been busy for a while. My brother here, welcomed by Mark, the betting shark, my longtime best friend. Got married a couple of weekends ago, so missed an episode there. And then it's about to have a
Great best man
baby.
speech.
So a little bit of that going on, and then I got deathly sick. So apologies, I haven't gotten an episode out in a couple of weeks here, but we're back. We've got a big one. Got a lot of things to talk about, storylines and even off the field stuff. Hope you're ready, Mark. You want to get into it?
Yeah, thanks, Foff. And if you guys want a great best man speech, Foffman is there for it again. Sorry, missed the couple episodes there, but between hospital stays for a baby trying to come early, getting married, Foffman getting sick, me getting a sinus infection, we've been at it. But we're ready and let's go. So we're going to kick it off with segment one, the hot zone. Giants fire Brian Dable after a 2-8 start. A lot of late game collapses. That I think just honestly coaching, man, they had a lot of games in the bag.
Yeah. I mean, fact of the matter is, no matter how you felt about him and the whole Jackson Dart dynamic, he just hasn't been good enough the last 3 or 4 years. Since the playoff one with Daniel Jones, whether you're in New York or you're in Cleveland, 3 or 4 losing seasons in a row is just not going to cut it anymore. So I don't think he had a face to save necessarily, but the record along with Jackson Dart having all these concussion issues already in the first year. Hey Dable, we know you love the guy, but don't kill him, right? So
Get out of
yeah.
the tent.
Yeah, and then that happens. It's just nothing looked good there. So I don't think even if he won last week, I think his job seems like it's been a decision that was made a while ago, just waiting for the
Yeah.
right time.
Interesting tidbit. 2 years ago, he was coach of the year. And I feel bad for him, right? He had the Creed team bros on lock. Scatabo, potato. Him and Dart were a great duo, man. The dynamic duo. I was rooting for him. I'm a Colts fan, but I was rooting for him. It's a shame. I think that if Scatabo stays healthy, Dart stays healthy. I mean, I think this looks a little bit different. But again, it's the Giants' curse. If you want Scatabo or Dart to be good, they got to leave the Giants.
Yeah,
And I guess maybe Dable. Maybe Dable's good too now he's leaving the Giants.
yeah. Well, he'll be a good offensive coordinator somewhere. I mean, I don't want to give anybody all the credit, but he kind of is what started Josh Allen's career. If you remember, he was the guy in Buffalo that had him running all the way down the field. And there's a reason he got the Giants. That's the reason he got the Giants job, because they were like, oh, he did this to Josh Allen, make him do it for another quarterback, and they thought that he did that to Daniel Jones. After they get one playoff win, but never to work again after that. But speaking of Cam Scatabo, have you seen some of his live streams since he's been out of office?
He's unhinged, bro. He is unhinged.
Unhinged.
That's awesome. I love it. Good for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they need to get that man off the perk 30s, or maybe have him hang up the cell phone for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
He's getting pretty wild on there, man. Pretty wild.
People, I saw there's a bar injury floating around on TikTok. Dude snapped his leg and still paid homage to Scadabu's injury. But last but not least, the Giants' offense ranks in the bottom 3 points, yards, and third down conversions. Let's see if the new coach can change that. We will see. I think not. I think the Giants are done.
Well, I think they're definitely done this year. They don't have any players. The only exciting players they have now are on defense, and it never was good enough to carry them. Not many defenses are, so I mean they're toast.
I think the Giants' most exciting players are actually playing on the Eagles and Colts right now.
Yeah, true. Actually,
All right, guys. Kyler Murray has a lot of fallout in Arizona, and I think it's going to get worse. We'll talk about this later in the episode. Call of Duty coming out with the new season. Kyler Murray going to be glued to it. As you know, it's in his contract that he's got to balance study time and Call of Duty time.
Oh,
What say you?
They took it out of the contract
Well, they
allegedly.
did. Did they?
Allegedly,
Okay. All right.
allegedly. My sources tell me that may have been taken out, but
Who are your
yeah,
sources? Who are your sources?
multiple anonymous and anonymous 234 and 76 7. Um,
So did 6 7
uh,
6 7.
yeah, you know, it's one of those things like somebody's going to play him like that. He's going to get paid that money regardless if he gets traded or whatever team. Like it's a guaranteed contract. With that being said, I've just always thought he's a little too short. You know, if he can't get
Oh,
outside of the
absolutely.
pocket, I don't think he's that great of a passer. He's extremely athletic. But to say he's a pocket passer and he can get it to Marvin Harrison and all these other guys, like I don't think he's ever going to be that guy. So if they think they can move off of him and pay Jacoby Brissett, 10, 15 million, say like a Justin Fields contract,
Yeah.
I think that would work out for him. I don't know who they would trade him to. I mean, we have some teams monitoring Jets and Dolphins. I don't know why the hell they would want him. Dolphins got their own problems trying to get rid of Tua that
But
they're
yeah, I mean,
paying.
the Jets have all these. Not to get off topic, but the Jets have all these first round draft picks
Yeah.
coming up. So I don't think they get him. But I want to go back to your point. You said he's too short to see over the offensive line. I want to hit you with
Oh,
a quick
really?
stat. Yeah, yeah. Kyler Murray, 5'10". He's 5'10". Okay. I don't know if you recall. We talked about it.
He's shorter than us.
Yeah, that's crazy because I can't see over half the guys I've seen play on the NFL. But fun fact, Tua came out publicly saying a lot of the issues for him in the Dolphins offense is he can't see over the offensive line with Kyler Murray coming in shorter than him at 5'10". So fun little tidbit of information.
Yeah. It's not to say that you can't win as a short quarterback, but you know,
I
guys like
think you
Drew
can.
Brees, like that's sort of like the rarity or like the unicorn. That's not the norm. You're not usually Drew Brees. Obviously, he's a Hall of Famer. Um, he's the only guy that comes to mind that's like that height. They're like obviously Russell Wilson when he was with Seattle, but he wasn't the pocket passer. I don't think ever that Drew Brees was. So, uh, yeah, I mean. And that's why all the guys are, all the teams are trying to draft these big monsters that are Josh Allen copycats.
Well, I'll give you a little bit more useless information. Bryce Young is the same height as Kyler Murray, and Josh Allen and Daniel Jones are 6'5", listed as some of the tallest quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
So height seems like it very relative to success.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, any level, high school, college, NFL. I mean, physicality, being able to, the small guys can escape a little bit better, but they can't throw even if it's a clean pocket. They've got to maneuver around to be able to see, or they've got to project where they're going to throw. And like we've talked about on previous episodes, a lot of these quarterbacks just aren't as good pre-snap anymore because they're getting thrown as a rookie or a second year and like saying, hey, you got to take the team while you're learning.
I heard Kyler Murray doesn't even play as Kyler Murray in Madden.
I wouldn't.
I've got a question for you. You're a lot better at the analytics and kind of the legal side of things. There's a lot of buzz around they potentially move off the Cardinals move off Kyler Murray despite 100 million being tied plus 100 million being tied to him. What does that look like? Does the next team that picks him up inherit that? Is that something they negotiate? What does that look like for the Cardinals'
I don't.
future? And whoever picks
I
him up?
haven't obviously read the actual contract, so usually, let's say there it's 100 million for 10 years, but like 80 of it, this is obviously hypothetical, is guaranteed. Whatever the guaranteed money is, usually the team that signed that contract, so in this case the Cardinals, would be liable for at the very least all of the guaranteed money. But you could definitely write something up in the trade where it's like, hey, I'll pay 50%, you pay 50%. There's ways to divvy it out, but normally you get the guy at a discount because he's already being paid by the other team. So, like, if somebody else signed him, they could sign him for a different contract for something that's much, much smaller. I'm trying to think of examples of this right now. I don't know
Well,
what
I mean, you
Sam
could look at
Darnold's
the.
contract is, but that might be one of them where,
Well,
yeah,
a good example actually is a recent one. The Colts acquiring Sauce Gardner. Sauce
okay,
Gardner had
yeah,
quite a bit of his contract left, and
oh yeah,
the agreement the Colts and the Jets made was that what the Jets have paid so far, is what it is. Sucks to suck, but the Colts are going to pick up the tab. So maybe that's kind of
wow,
what it looks
you
like.
guys are picking up the whole thing.
Yeah, as long as we're not against Drake London, it's okay. But
Yeah,
Foffy Moon,
man, he just got signed last summer. I know we're getting a little bit off topic there,
yeah.
but like he's got a lot of years left. I think he's like almost full contract still.
Well, here's what I got to say. I think that our segment here is a little too, dare I say, short to keep talking about Kyler Murray. But all right, let's move on to the Lamar
That was awful.
Jackson
That was
action, baby.
awful
Let's go.
delivery.
Let's go. Don't ever do that again. Okay. All right, guys. Lamar dealing with knee soreness, but officially starting week 11. Let's go, Foff. What do you got on this?
Yeah, I didn't even know he was like halfway hurt. I think at this
I
point,
didn't either.
I think at this point, like if Lamar can play, he's going to play every single game. They've got to win every single game, unless Pittsburgh just loses every single game. It's basically a 2-horse race now. Especially if Pittsburgh beats Cincinnati this weekend, it's the Ravens and Pittsburgh for that division, and I don't know if another team gets in as a wild card. So. Yeah, my take is just he's going to play every game, even if he is hurt. I don't think they can afford to not put him out there. So,
What do you think the odds are right now? Statistically, I've got the number in front of me. Guess. Do you think? What do you think the statistical odds of them making the playoffs are right now?
well, I'd say Vegas probably has them favored since they're only a game and a half back. So I'm going to say like minus
No, just
160.
percentage.
Oh,
1 to 100.
probably like 58%,
Dude,
59%.
that the great guess. Great guess. Maybe you should be with Vegas. 64.1% due to a 3-game winning streak and the return of Lamar Jackson. A few weeks ago, their odds were as low as 9% with a 1-5 start.
Yeah, which was also ridiculous. Now, I'm obviously a Pittsburgh fan, but you should have hammered Lamar MVP 3 weeks ago, or Raven. If you wanted to get on that, you should have done that 3 weeks ago. He was over 100 to 1. Now he's down to like 25 to 1, and then them to make the playoffs, 9%. That's probably like 3 or 4 to 1 almost, and now they're favored. So, we'll get into some bet stuff later, but
Right, but
kind of late on that. If you're going to bet on them to make the playoffs, I wouldn't do it now.
right, yeah, no. I mean, Baltimore's offense is like a phone without Wi-Fi. Yeah, it works, but why not? If Lamar's out, Ravens who? I mean, the Ravens are 7-0 this season when Lamar posts 60+ rushing yards. So keep Lamar healthy, you look good. But I think no matter what, they still have a late season collapse like last year whenever Mark Andrews drops that ball and ends their playoff run.
Yeah, and I'm not really sold on their defense either.
No,
I know a lot of people
God,
say they've been
no,
playing better as of late, but
no.
I don't think they've been playing any good teams.
That's what everybody says about every NFL team this year, to be fair.
Yeah, I keep
Easy
saying it.
schedule.
Last year, same deal.
Yeah.
I really feel like there's a lot of bad football being played. Like we're not practicing enough.
Showing up to OTAs late, team meetings
Yeah.
late.
Quarterbacks are all starting off slow, or O-line's just garbage, and then the whole team's bad. There's a lot of that this year, unfortunately.
Yep.
That's why I'm watching a lot of college ball.
Yep, and we can definitely, depending on the feedback we get,
Shout out Notre
as the season-
Dame.
Hey, let's go Notre Dame. Let's go IU. Rep the brand. Indiana for the shoe. As it goes on, guys, in the comment section, let us know if you want to see more of NBA basketball, college football. As the NFL cools down a little bit, we'll be talking about college a lot
sports for
more.
sure.
Some team rivalries. But yeah, I mean, all I really have left to say about Lamar Jackson being cleared is he's cleared. Think he's a safe start, and we'll keep that in mind as we move forward with this episode.
Yeah, if you got Lamar Jackson in fantasy, you better be starting him every single week. And you probably shouldn't even have another quarterback on your roster unless he's hurt, to be honest. Like,
I'd have somebody. Just, I mean, he's not as bad
he
as
gets
Jaden
hurt.
Daniels. Yeah,
For sure.
Jaden Daniels' name in my fantasy league has been changed to Butt Cheeks because he's hurt every other week.
Yeah.
Every week, really.
Yep. Yeah, their team, I mean, that's a whole other, we could have a 30-minute conversation about their turmoil. They got screwed from the offseason, really.
So the next talking point we have, this one doesn't really matter to me. I think this is, I know we talked about this, we put this in the episode, but and maybe you feel different than I do, but let's talk about the Bills losing Dalton Kincaid for this game. He's out due to a hamstring. I don't think it matters. I mean, it hurts a little bit, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's a big deal.
Well, we'll get to it when we get to the head-to-head games, but yeah, the only spot that to me that really hurts them is third downs and red zone. To me, like, really, I don't want to call him their MVP, but like what has made them successful this year is James Cook. They're like really relying on him to run the ball a lot. So if he can't do that, then I think this is an issue. Outside of that, they have three tight ends. If they don't have Kincaid, they're throwing Dawson Knox out there, and I can't remember the other guy, but they're all big. They can all catch. It's Josh Allen. I'm not worried at all.
Okay. Well, let's. If you're ready to move, are you ready to move on?
Yeah. Let's get to some spreads here.
Well, let's before we get there, let's
the fun
let's get into
part.
the bet slip. This is what everyone's been waiting for.
Write these down.
Yep. So get ready. So far, everybody, I want you to know if you want to tail us or fade us. I'm typically the guy you want to tail. So far, my record is superior. So follow me to the promised land.
We haven't done this in a couple of weeks, so we'll see. You won the first week. Second week, I won. So I don't know what the combined records are. I didn't add them up because it's been a couple of weeks, but you ain't that far off.
Hoffman, I am your father. I win.
Hey, Darth, you left your inhaler at home.
All right.
Yeah.
So Patriots, Jets.
No. Going to the Madrid game. Madrid. We're going to Spain.
You don't want to talk about the Jets Patriots that already hit?
Oh, a Thursday night game? I guess we can talk about it. I mean, kind of went how everybody thought it would go. I feel like Justin Fields can't throw, but they can run the ball, score a few points. But in the end, Patriots will cover and win.
So with this segment, do we want to machine gun these out and not spend as much time?
We can spend as much time as we want. It's our damn show.
We got Notre Dame coming up. I know you wanted to watch that.
I'm gonna watch Notre Dame, but we got time. We got time.
All right. Like you said, going to Madrid, Santiago. Don't ask me to pronounce this, but I'll do it anyway. Bernabeu, Madrid, Spain. All right, Commanders, Dolphins.
First España game.
What?
First España, Spain, in Spanish. España.
What does Españo mean?
España means Spain.
I think you just pulled that out of your ass. You're full of it.
I took 3 years of Castilian.
3 years?
Yeah, in high school.
Of what?
Castilian. It's a dialect of Spanish. The more you know. I don't know if you heard, but the Dolphins said that I don't know if they said this, but kind of sounds like how Jacksonville goes to London every year. This might be Miami might go to Spain every year, which sucks for them, but because they're going to have to lose a damn home game every year to go to Spain.
So we got the spread, Dolphins -2.5. Total, we're not going to keep track of it. It's 47.5. I'm taking the Dolphins here minus 2.5.
I'm going to go the other way, taking the Commandos. Just reading into the line, both
Redskins.
of these teams are garbage, honestly. And it's in Spain. I think the international games can be a little bit wonky, a little bit goofy,
I
but
don't
I'm
know.
assuming,
The Berlin game was nice and spicy.
yeah.
Those Ich bin ein Berliner. Man, they got a great show. They got a
Are
great
they?
show. What a game.
Are they? Do you know if they're playing at like Atletico Madrid stadium, or do you know if it's indoor, or outdoor? I'm assuming they're going to be playing on grass. They don't really do field turf over there. If they're playing on real grass and it's like
Bro, I have
soccer,
no
like
idea.
Georgia, I almost like the Commanders even more. But like again, I don't think either of these teams are very good. It's probably gonna be lower ish. If I had to take a pick on the total, I would go under 47.5. But for the
I'm
sake
going
of our
under.
picks, I'm going
I'm going under.
Commandos
All right.
for our country.
Not
You
much
see,
left
Trump
there.
did the Trump did play-by-play commentating for them last week at the
Did he?
stadium. Yeah, he was there. It was a blowout, but whatever.
All right. Panthers Falcons. Falcons favored by 3.5. Over unders at 41.5. I want to hear what your take is. I mean, honestly, I think the Panthers shut the
On
Falcons out, right?
we're talking Carolina, Atlanta.
Yeah. Panthers shut the Falcons out their last matchup, right? 30-0.
Yeah, so that's why I think I'm swinging the other way. Bit of a revenge spot, and they're at home. The only thing that I think really works against them here is they did play an overtime game in Berlin last week, which we now know if you play an overtime game, you have to get on the second flight. So that was they didn't get in until really, really late the following day. So short week of practice. But again, revenge spot. I think even in the games Carolina has won, I still don't think Bryce Young and that offense is any good. I think their defense is overachieving just a tad. But yeah, I'm going to take Atlanta here minus the 3.5 for sure.
Yep. I'm taking Atlanta as well.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to touch the over-under. Not even going to make an attempt, but I'm taking Atlanta. I think
At 41.5, that's low. Low.
I'm not touching it. Listen, the Falcons played pretty good against the Colts. Clock management, not so great. Falcons, they played well. I think this week, they got a lot of flack about not using Bijan as much as they should. Bijan's my only good player in fantasy, so I'm rooting for him. But yeah, I think the Falcons take some notes from the last time they played the Panthers. I think they're a little pissed off from the way the Colts game ended. Honestly, I like this one. I like Atlanta by 3.5.
Yep, I'm on it. Usually they're kind of they're very up and down. Obviously with the 3-6
Yes.
record.
So are the Panthers.
Buffalo in one of those three.
Yeah, what a game! What a game!
But yeah, I'm on the same page. I think this is an up game for him. And that coach Raheem, yeah, he's gonna be on the hot seat if he keeps losing like that for sure.
All right, we
What we got next?
we got the Buccaneers playing in Buffalo. Okay, so Buffalo, yeah, the Bills are favored by 5.5, over under 46.5. We got the Buccaneers coming from warm weather, going to cold weather, Highmark Stadium, Orchard Park, New York. Looking like the game's going to be a little bit above freezing, but still relatively close to it.
Yeah, this would be a game that I would really be on Tampa Bay here if it wasn't for the injuries. They are super well. Both teams are banged up, honestly. Bills are dealing with some defensive line issues, and we already talked about the tight end. But Tampa's no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, no Bucky Irving. They're down a tackle. And yeah, like you said, it's going to be a little bit colder. I love Baker Mayfield. I wish he was my quarterback. But I think Bills at home, it's probably a higher scoring game. I think that they take it here probably by a touchdown. There's probably a couple of turnovers. I mean, Rashad White might not even play. Tampa might be down to their third string running back. So, yeah, I mean, the only receiver really they got left is like Buka, which I think is a fantastic rookie. But, if it's just him, I'm going to take Buffalo here with the points.
Yep, I disagree. The Bills don't look great. Just about every matchup I've watched, they struggle. Buccaneers, good team. I like them here. I'm not saying the Buccaneers win. I think they cover the spread. Give me the Buccaneers.
They do play in a lot of close games. I will,
Yep.
that's when I first saw this. Normally I would have been on Tampa, but I don't know. I thought the spread would have been a little bit shorter, maybe like 3.5, but at 5.5, I think they're kind of trying to tell us something here. It could get a little out of hand late, but
Yep.
we'll see. We'll see. That's a big game, even though that's a non-conference game. I mean, both of those teams. I think Tampa's like every year. Their division's kind of garbage, so it's not really a must-win for them. But with the way New England's playing, Buffalo really has to stack them up. They can't get too far behind, or they're not going to be able to catch up. So I think they really need to win this one.
Agreed. All right.
What is next?
What is next? All right, since you asked, folks, it's the Texans and the Titans.
What an
The
awful
Texans
game.
the Texans are traveling from Houston to the Music City of Nashville. All right, beautiful weather, sunny, 65 degrees. Right now, Texans are favored by 5.5. They got Mills. C.J. Stroud is still down for the count with a concussion. So they got Mills, and I think Mills got it figured out.
Yeah, sorry, Amir, I mean a cereal bar. Yeah, I don't. Man, Tim, I just can't, in my right mind, feel confident about picking Tennessee against anybody. They are so terrible, like so bad. But yeah, to me, the Texans should have lost by 30 last week. That comeback was miraculous. I don't believe in Davis Mills. Their offensive line is still putrid. I'm not going to bet this game, but for the sake of picks, I'm going to take Tennessee at home plus 5.5. They got to cover at some point. I mean,
all right. Well, I mean, fair. The only win the Titans have right now is against the Cardinals,
and that was
arguably, arguably the Titans. The Cardinals beat themselves. The Titans didn't win that game. The Cardinals gave it to them.
Not at all. Yeah, the Cardinals just choked. Interception that turned into a fumble that was a touchdown. You drop the ball right before you. I mean, they could have went up 28-6, but I don't know. The total here is only at 37.5. So
Yeah,
outside of stuff like that, maybe
but you're forgetting the Texans have a red hot defense. And the Titans' offense is so lackluster. I mean, the Colts held the Titans' offense in check, and our defense is okay.
no, I get it.
Great.
The Texans' defense is elite, but that doesn't mean they're going to score.
You know what? Mills, you didn't see Mills play last week. Apparently.
I did. It's Davis Mills.
Give me the Texans. 5.5. Give me the Texans.
You're going to take the Davis Mill magic. He can't do that 2 weeks in a row.
Watch and learn.
He may not have to in this game, but
yeah, Cam Ward's going to fumble, throw interceptions.
Something, yeah.
Houston's defense will win the game. That's fine.
All right. Got some difference in picks here. What we got?
All right.
Going to the NFC, huh?
Go NFC. We're going to move on, and it is the
NFC
Bears visiting the Vikings. And it is the Vikings favored by 2.5. We got J.J. McCarthy healthy. He's playing. Yeah, it's weather should be pretty chilly. Is Minneapolis open or closed? They're closed. They're closed
Probably
stadium.
closed by
But
this time of year.
yeah, weather shouldn't be a factor. Yeah, Minnesota minus 2.5. Over under 48.5. Let's hear what you got.
Yeah, that line's gone down a point, which makes me think Vegas is trying to get people to bet on the Vikings or somebody's come in on the Bears. Either way, I saw this when I saw this line initially.
That's what she said.
I was definitely on Minnesota. I think the Bears are way
You're
overvalued.
gonna ignore that. That's what she said.
I am. With that being said, I'm going to take the Bears here plus 2.5. It's going to be indoors. It's going to be a fast track. It's not that far to travel for Chicago. I'm not going to bet this, though. It's not a lock for me. I definitely like the Vikings team better. However, not sold on JJ yet. And,
Nope, neither.
you know, they've been a little wishy-washy. They aren't the Vikings of last year where you can like say, oh, they'll consistently get 24 or 28.
No, of course you can't be the Vikings of last year when you cut your two best quarterbacks
Yeah, yeah, true.
who are doing great. I mean, what a gamble.
That being said, though, I'm not a fan of this Bears team. I do not think they're good.
I don't want to be a fan of fingernail painting Caleb Williams, dude. But you know what? They're surprising me, and I'm taking the Bears to cover the spread. Again, not saying they win. I think they probably do. They definitely cover the spread. I don't think JJ's ready. I think this is a rebuild year. Give me the Bears.
Yeah, I agree. I actually really like Ben Johnson. I think he's done a fabulous job calling plays.
Fabulous.
I think Caleb Williams is
Chef
garbage.
kiss.
Garbage. And on top of that, Ben Johnson don't know how to coach defense. That's clear as day. They need another defensive coordinator because that defense, it's like playing the Cowboys. It's like a bye week on defense. So that's why this game scares me a little bit because like even though I'm not like full on like, oh yeah, JJ can get it done, like they're gonna give him some open guys for sure. That defense is no bueno. But I'm gonna take one for Ben Johnson here. So. And we got another NFC North, NFC East matchup, looks like, coming up after that game. You got anything else? Minnesota, Chicago?
Nope, that covers it. So let's move over to the Packers playing the Giants. So right now, the Green Bay is favored by 6.5. Giants at home. No Dart, no Scattaboo. I think this one's a no-brainer. I'll just go ahead and tell you. Give me the Packers 6.5.
Yeah, you're going to take the Packers. Figured you would. This line doesn't make any sense to me. And because of that...
Seems high.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Giants. Plus 6.5.
Yeah, this one's risky. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous and cautious, but...
Well, the Giants don't... I thought it would be higher. But this tells me that Vegas is really like, yeah, no, Green Bay's offense has actually looked bad. It's not just your eyes. Their defense is going to keep them in every single game they play. The Packers' defense is legit. One of the best defenses I've seen out of them in a long time. But their offense, I don't know what's going on.
Can we talk about Jameis Williams starting and him singing?
Winston.
Jameis Winston, thank you. He was in an interview and was singing some kind of Broadway show. You got to look it up if you haven't seen it. It was awesome. He's back.
I haven't seen that, but yeah, I'm hoping that this is one of those weird games. He comes out and throws for like 400 yards randomly to nobody. Almost like what the boys did against the Colts that last week, a couple of years ago. Like out of nowhere, they score like 40 points. But another game, I don't think I'll be betting. I mean, I don't even know if I'll have it when Red Zone has it on, but not a game I'll be watching. Not over the Buffalo Tampa game.
I don't know, man.
That's the game
I'm starting
of this slate to me.
You're making me question my pick because I'm looking at Jameis Winston. I didn't realize last year he had a QB rating of 80, 13 TDs. Show me your TDs. 12 interceptions, 2,121 pass yards, 61% completion. I don't love it, but Packers have a pretty decent. You know what? Nope, I'm staying Packers. I like the defense. I like Micah Parsons.
Their defensive line is scary good.
Yeah, I'm staying Packers, and you're taking Giants.
I am. Take famous Jameis. Shoplifting
I know.
crab legs. Jameis.
I know you're. Yeah,
Eating
let's,
them W's. Jameis.
Here,
Arr.
here. Let me feed you the W. You ready?
Yeah, we're gonna
Take a bite of that W. All right. I know you want to talk about this game. I know you want to talk about it.
What is
Let's
it?
move over. AFC game.
Oh.
This is a grudge rematch. It is the Bengals traveling to Pittsburgh.
Oh, we're skipping.
And what I'm showing shows.
Oh, no. We're right. Mine's wrong because I've logged into your account and it has it in the favorite.
Because you're a flop. Yeah, you're a flop. So the Bengals traveling to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh favored by 5.5. Wow, the over-under is at 49.5.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to put this one in cruise control. I'm going to sit back and eat my popcorn, Mr. Steelers fan of the year. Let's hear it.
So, obviously, the pick here is Pittsburgh, minus 5.5. But I wouldn't be mad at you if you took it all the way to like 13.5 or 14. I'm calling pure domination. They had to have had one of the worst best weeks in practice this week. Mike Tomlin will not accept losing to the Bengals twice, especially a Joe Flacco-led team. We already got the Thursday night game out of the way where we blew it in the end. I don't see us doing that 2 times in the same season. We have to win to stay a game above Baltimore. This is a determining game. If we lose this game, season's over, in my opinion. So I'm
I don't
thinking
think so, but I get it.
I mean, Joe Flacco throws 3 picks. We get a sack fumble. Aaron Rodgers throws 3 touchdowns. I mean, they got to be as pissed off as they can be this year playing this game. I don't think you can take Cincinnati. And the other thing I like about it too, I don't know if you've looked at the betting market and the public money coming in. Cincinnati is a public dog, meaning they are getting the majority of the money as an underdog, which historically is a smash spot for Vegas. Anytime there's a dog that's getting more money than the favorite, almost every single time the favorite just hammers. So yeah, I feel really confident about this one. Even though they played like shit against the Chargers, I thought the defense was still very, very dominant. And we're just not going to let Jamar Chase and T. Higgins they're not going to throw it up again. It's not going to work that way. We're simplifying the defense, and I'm calling for just over at halftime domination type of game. So
I hear you. I think that it doesn't matter. You know, and I respect the Steelers being your favorite team. Last time that they had the matchup with the Bengals, I tailed the Steelers. It bit me in the ass. I think this is probably Joe Burrow's becoming healthy. You know, Flacco thought about retiring last year, and he thought about retiring again this year before he got traded to the Bengals from the Browns. So with all that being said, I think, in Flacco's mind, this is probably one of his last games. If, theoretically Burrow could come back next week, we don't know. I think Flacco lays it all out there. He's going to rely heavily on, Chase, Higgins. I'm not saying the Bengals win, but I think they cover the spread. I hope Foff, your favorite team, wins. I think that's fine. But I do think the Bengals cover here.
Okay. Do you think, in my opinion, if they lose this game, why bring Joe Burrow back at all? Why not sit him for the rest of the year? What is the point? It's almost like the Jaden Daniels thing. Like, what is the point? You're just going to, run him out there to get hurt even more? I don't know. But I see what you're saying. If they win this game, maybe Joe Burrow comes back and they try to make a run. Because right now, technically they're only 2 games out, but 3 games out behind 2 teams with there'll be 6 or 7 games left. I don't know. With that defense, I think they're dead. But I've seen Cincinnati, their ownership make some terrible decisions before. So
I mean, I think they bring Burrow back. They don't have. I mean, they're down to about a 6% chance to make the playoffs. The Bengals do, and you got to think it's a business, right? I think it makes sense in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, if their playoff chances go to 0, you'd say go ahead and bench Burrow, let him stay healthy for next year. But it's a business, right? I mean, you got a lot of fans that probably understand, but a lot of fans that would just get mad, and that's money, that's revenue. Tickets wouldn't be sold the rest of the season, so I think playing Burrow still brings in more revenue than not playing him, even if it strategically makes sense for winning.
It does. It's going to build them more revenue, but I don't know. It's just, to me, that seems like what a scummy owner would say. Oh, we need to sell tickets instead of winning games. To me, these guys are all billionaires.
Yeah.
You bought the team to win, not that. I guess in his case, is it Paul Brown, or I can't remember his name, but I guess that is his only business. He's not one of these guys that owns Walmart, but also owns the Denver Broncos. Walton family, shout out.
Not sponsored.
No. Although I am up in Springdale quite a bit for my line of work, my 9 to 5. But yeah, my hate for Ohio and specifically the city of Cincinnati. But just logically, they've got so many issues, from the owner to the practice facilities to not being able to pay players to trying to, fandangle their rookie contracts to make them sign stuff that they've never had to sign before. I don't like anything that I see out of their camp, hardly ever. It's going to take a while for me to believe that they can go back and do anything.
I don't know if you watched Pat McAfee. Shout out to you for meeting Boston Connor. McAfee's show, when they covered this week, they talked about the Bengals and Steelers matchup. They were looking at some footage from training, and Burrow was wearing green or gray sweatpants where the rest of the team was wearing black, and McAfee immediately thought that was not a good look. Lack of discipline. So he said immediately he's going to lean Steelers. But yeah, I'm locking in Bengals to at least cover the spread. I'm done with that game.
I gotcha. I am too. I've said said my piece. Domination. Just bully the hell out of them. Just into the ground.
I don't think so. All right. Let's move on to another AFC battle. We got the Chargers traveling to Jacksonville to play the Jaguars. The Chargers, this is weird. I don't understand why it's so low. Maybe they know something we don't. The Chargers are only favored by 2.5. Yep. Over under at 43.5.
Yeah. I saw the same thing you did, and for that reason, and the line hasn't moved at all. This is what I saw a few days ago. So I'm taking Jacksonville because they're basically saying, says at Jacksonville, home field usually gives you about 3 points. So they're basically saying the Chargers are 5 points better than Jacksonville on a neutral site game, which I disagree with, especially since they still don't have any tackles. Now, I know they beat the Steelers 25-10, but if you watch that game, Joey Porter drops 2 interceptions at the 50-yard line, and they only had 2 third down conversions, and they still only lost by 2 scores. So I think if Jacksonville, you don't have Travis Hunter, but they brought in Jacoby Myers, and I think Parker Washington has come out and is played out of his mind. I don't know where this kid came from, but he's running back a punt return once every other week and catching touchdown passes. I think they keep it close enough. It might be a field goal game, but I'm going to take the home team getting points here. Cross country, West Coast team going to the East Coast for a 1 o'clock game. This will be playing at 10 a.m. for these boys in LA.
I'm taking the Chargers minus 2.5.
Any reasoning?
I just think they're a better team. Uh, if Herbert can stay healthy and upright, he does pretty good. I got a lot of faith in Herbert. Unfortunately, I'd love for them to tank here and give the Colts a better chance at the number one seed, but I don't know. It's kind of the game feel for me, and I think this is again, if it turns into a field goal game, I think the Chargers cover by 3. So give me Chargers 2.5 at least.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are. Technically, Chargers aren't even winning their own division right now. Broncos are, and you've got Kansas City right behind them. And then also, for your division, you're only 2 games up on Jacksonville. Have you guys played this year?
Not yet. Nope.
Okay, I was gonna say you have a tiebreaker, but since you guys haven't played, yeah. So this is a big game for the AFC playoff picture for sure.
Yep.
And the next game is a huge game for the NFC playoff picture.
Well, actually, if the Jaguars lose this, we've got a 3-game lead on them.
Yeah. No, you'll have a 3-game lead. But if they win, then
2-game.
Yeah, they can 2-game. But then the games you guys play are going to really determine because that'll be
and we got
basically be like another game.
We got a tough schedule coming up. I mean, 4 of our games are going to be against the Texans and Jaguars, but we got the Chiefs coming off the bye week, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But it's playoff picture starting to shape up.
Yep, big games, big. Oh, knocking down to Seattle and LA now, aren't we?
Yep. All right, let's talk about the next game. So we got the Seahawks traveling to the Rams. Both 7-2. Rams favored by 3.5. I'm kind of indifferent on this game. I think the Seahawks.
Game of the week.
My gut says My gut says Seahawks. You know what? I'm calling Seahawks. They're going to cover the spread.
Plus 3.5. I'm going the opposite way. I'm going to take the Rams. I really haven't been super vocal about it, but I kind of think they're the best team in the NFL. I don't see any holes. I don't. Their defense is really good. Their defense.
I want whatever you got.
Okay, listen. Defense is
living in the land of gumdrops and candy canes.
They have two number 1 wide receivers. They have a great running back. They have a Hall of Fame quarterback, and they've got a good defense.
Did you see that the Seahawks made Cooper Kupp a team captain to play the Rams? A little bit of a spot,
they're trying to big it up. Hey, beat up your old team. They got rid of you, but I don't think anybody's saying Cooper Kupp's better than Devontae Adams. I'm sure not. Or Puka.
I'm not, because I got Devontae on my fantasy league.
Yeah.
They got the over-under at 48.5, so I'm hoping it's a shootout, but nope, I'm sticking with my guns. Seahawks.
I think it could be a shootout. There's going to be a ton of passing. So if there's turnovers,
a lot of passing.
It may not be a shootout.
You got Stafford and Darnold, though. Those guys are pretty clean in the pocket.
Yeah, and I think... See, that's where, I think the big difference is. I think Stafford's way up here, and Darnold's, few notches below. One's Hall of Famer, the other one's had 2 good years. Let's see what happens.
I think Darnold's kind of figured it out, and I think he's... Yeah, I
Did you watch the Monday night game last week?
Who'd they play?
The Cardinals, I think, at home. Or, no, it wasn't the Cardinals. It was... the Niners, maybe. I thought they played a division game at home.
I don't know.
All I know is his odds for MVP. I saw this. His odds for MVP went up, and he played like shit. He had 2 picks. It's just to me. I don't feel like anybody watches the games out of the West. The same thing in basketball. They have a great record, and I think their defense is really, really good. I don't like Sam Darnold. I just don't. I think Jackson Smith and Jigma is a monster. But their running game has gotten weaker. They've been doing this committee deal with Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker, and it's it doesn't feel like they have confidence in either of them, which is no good against this team. The Rams pass the ball a lot, but McVay's kind of turned into a power run guy. I think the Rams push him around. win this game. Maybe not by super big margin, but I think it's comfy. I think they probably win by.
Well, if you're saying not by a super big margin, I mean that lends credence to the Seahawks still covering.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's going to be like a 7. Like, I don't know, like 28-20 or like 31-24 or something like that.
Well, the Colts arguably, again, beat the Rams if it's not for Adonai Mitchell.
True. I think the Rams have become better since then.
Okay.
But, it's a division game. So, usually you would see me, I'm always going to, whoever's getting points in division game. But, I don't know. I think the Rams want to come out here and outclass them.
Sorry. Little fit of the tism there.
Yeah. No, I stand.
Butter, my good sir. Would you like some butter?
No, I wouldn't. I'd like the Rams to dominate.
Dominate. Bring the hammer.
Best team in the NFL. I'm calling it.
Get out of here. Go home. You're drunk.
My Super Bowl, right?
Taking your car keys.
They're my NFC
All right.
Super Bowl team.
Let's move off your delusional land of the Rams kingdom. So let's talk about the next one. You got 49ers traveling to Arizona to play the Cardinals. 49ers favored by 3.5. And I believe Brock Purdy's playing this week.
I think so as well. To me, I probably, even if Mac Jones was playing, would have taken the Niners here. I think the Cardinals have kind of gotten off their lucky horseshoe. Although it is, again, a division game, home team is getting points. Yeah, give me the Niners. I'm not going to think too hard about this. McCaffrey, they have Kittle back now for a couple of weeks. Is Pierce Hall playing? And
I don't know.
Innings, they getting a receiver back finally?
No, I'm not sure. I didn't look up that.
I don't know.
My gut here. Well, I don't know because
Cardinals are hard to project,
Yeah.
man. Their offense.
they are, and so are the 49ers. But you know what? Purdy coming back. Kittle's probably going to go off.
Yeah, he looked good last week.
I don't know, man. I'm going to flip this in can. I don't have a quarter. All right. Heads, I'm taking 49ers. Tails, I'm taking Cardinals. Ready?
Mm-hmm. All right. What side was that?
Heads.
That was heads?
Heads. 49ers.
Okay. We're whining and dining. Oh, what is it? 3.5? Yeah. 3.5. All right.
So not a lot of sparkles in that game. Let's move on to. I like this game. Ravens traveling to Cleveland. Right now, wow. Ravens favored by 7.5.
Look at that
Over-unders
total.
at 38.5. High spread, low scoring game. That's interesting
Smash.
combo there.
Smash.
You smashing the 7.5 on the Ravens?
Oh yeah, smash. They're saying Cleveland might not score a damn point. I mean,
They may stay in the locker room.
yeah, I don't know. To me, this is a bye week. Dylan Gabriel's got nothing.
What's funny, you know,
I mean, they can run the ball in Baltimore. I definitely see Quinshon Junkins having a couple of touchdowns, but with that total, that scares me. I'm all over Baltimore with that total.
Well, what's funny is you're probably going to have Shadur in the back going, what about me? I want to play.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason he ain't out there. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. All right. Your confidence swayed me. If anybody wants to go watch the game, it's $17 to go to the stadium.
Yeah, get tickets.
Yeah,
Wanna
get
go to
tickets now.
Cleveland?
If you want to see Lamar, you get $17 to go see the game. All right, Foff. I'm going to take the Ravens just because you seem confident.
Yeah. They got all their players.
All right.
Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry, and Lamar. You're telling me they can't go in there and score 20?
This next game I am looking forward to. You got the Chiefs traveling to play the Broncos in Denver. Chiefs favored -3.5. And let me just tell you, I'm taking the Chiefs, and the reason is I was leaning Broncos, but somebody brought up a good point. The Broncos have been struggling in just about every game,
Yeah.
and they're squeaking them out. I mean, would they play the Raiders and they barely squeaked that game out?
10-7.
Yeah, and the Chiefs, the Chiefs, I don't know what it is, man. Every year they start off slow and they start heating up towards the end of the year. I think this is a gimme. That's probably the one I'm most confident about is the Chiefs covering the spread here,
Yeah,
especially if it drops any.
I'm also on the Chiefs. Pretty much same reasoning. I think that Denver's been squeaking by. I think it's kind of Kansas again, like we talked about. What was it? The Chargers and Jacksonville game. Another team that's getting some points on the road, which means they're 5 or 6 point favorite in a neutral site game. But in this case, I actually do think the Chiefs are 5 to 6 points better than the other team, strictly because I think Bo Nix has taken a huge step back. Their defense is still really, really good. But like we've talked about with some other teams, their offense is just not on the field enough to score enough points or to give their defense enough breaks to really cause issues. I think the Chiefs win this going away. I think maybe it's close until about halftime, and then second half, pedal to the metal. Give me the Chiefs by 10 probably.
I think the Chiefs start the game swinging. Taylor Swift's probably in the back, serenading the Broncos, singing the whole something, "Send me down the river." If I die young, the Broncos suck. Send me down the river. Whatever that song is, she's going to be singing it.
What the hell you're talking about? Is that a Taylor
That's 'cause you're
Swift
not a
single?
Yeah. She actually wrote it for me. No. All right. I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, we got the Sunday night game. Big
Sunday
game.
night.
Lions
Big game.
at
Lots of fireworks.
Philly.
Yep.
Philly getting laying 2.5 points at home here. I'm just going to come right out. I'm on the Lions plus 2.5. Eagles can't win this game 10-7 like they did against Green Bay. They're going to have to throw it a little bit. I think Saquon's looked a little bit slower. I'm still not really sold on the Lions secondary. I think they're very vulnerable in their safeties and their corners. But they're still the same old Lions on offense. And if the Eagles can't score more than, 7, 10, 14 points, I don't think they can win this game. So for that reason, I'm taking the Lions.
The Eagles got a lot of drama, and this could go either way. Last time A.J. Brown was super vocal about not getting the ball. The next game, he got the ball every time and just ringing up the scoreboard. Lions, not a lot of momentum on them. I feel like the Eagles, everyone's talking about them. Give me the Eagles. I don't feel great about this, but give me the Eagles. I think there's just a lot of drama, and they probably want to shut the media up. I think Hurts gets tired of listening to A.J. Brown cry. He gives him the ball a lot. There you go. Lots of points. I think Dan Campbell lays it all out with his, big cojones, and it bites him in the ass a couple times. So I can understand why anybody would go Lions. I understand it. Part of me wants to go Lions, but give me the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, not a huge Dan Orlovsky guy, but he does a good job about breaking down snap percentages and stuff. If you look at this year to last year, A.J. Brown's almost getting about the same amount of targets per plays that they're playing. The problem is they're just not on the field. They're not converting third downs. So, Jalen Hurts isn't throwing as much, let alone just A.J. Brown. They just aren't running as many offensive plays. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. The lines, it's basically the same team, but for whatever reason, they can't move the ball this year. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm definitely on the Lions here, especially after MCDC came back last week. He's like, yeah, I'll be calling the plays for the next few weeks. I'm going to let the offensive coordinator learn a little bit. And come to find out, he taught Ben Johnson. Everybody thought Ben Johnson, the Chicago Bears guy, head coach now, was the guru in Detroit. Turns out MCDC was the one calling plays, and then Ben Johnson took over. So that gives me a lot more faith in him and that offense going forward, at least for the foreseeable future. So that'll probably be a bet for me, along with the Kansas City game and the Rams game probably too. 4 or 5 locks for me on this slate.
All right, let's move on to the Cowboys.
God,
Playing Raiders.
Ugly game again on Monday night. What is going on here?
Honestly, I think this one's pretty easy. I think the Cowboys' record, again, they're not great, but I think the Cowboys' record is worse than what they actually are. I think the Raiders' record is probably better than what they are. I think Dak Prescott just demolishes the Raiders. They're favored by 3.5 away. Which means on a neutral playing field, they're 7?
6, 7, something like that.
Yeah, 6, 7. So, I think this one's easy. Cowboys cover it 3.5. Max Crosby gets mad, throws temper tantrum, personal foul. Lots of first downs because of that. So, give me the Cowboys, man. Minus 3.5. It's a lock.
Yeah, I am. I'm going the other way here. I agree with you. I think the Raiders' record is what it is. They might be a little bit better than the record. I disagree on Dallas. I think their record reflects exactly how good they are. Their offense can score points when they can throw the ball, but like we talked about with the Bears, I think their defenses might be the worst in the league. If not, it's at least top 3, top 5 worst defense in the league. So if Geno can stop throwing these damn picks and they'll just hand Ashton Genty the ball about 30 times a game, I think they could keep it close. But that's really going to determine it. With a total at 50, they've got to score more than 7 points that they did against Denver. But I think you're talking Denver's defense to Dallas's defense, we're talking varsity to middle school, in my opinion. It's not even close. So I'm going to take a lot of these night games have been really weird. A lot of the underdogs have stayed in, and they're at home getting points. So just as a general rule of thumb, I'm going to take them at home getting points against a team I don't think has a very good defense. Doesn't mean that I think they're going to win. I probably won't bet it because both these teams I think are awful. It's kind of a bad juju to bet on a game where both teams are bad because typically anything can happen if they're both bad. But for our picks, I'm going to take the Raiders.
So let's do something fun here. Let's talk about the bye week teams. If they were going to play each other, Colts Saints. I'm taking the Colts minus 50.5.
Yeah. If the spread, we could guess the spreads, but obviously no way to verify it. If they were playing at New Orleans, I'd say if they were in Indy, it would be like 10.5, 11.5. If they're in New Orleans, I'd say at least probably be like 8.5. But yeah, I'm still taking them. No brainer.
All right. So that's the bet slip. That's what we got going on. Let's move on to the fantasy corner. So some must starts. Devon A-Chain, great matchup. Explosive upside. Zay Flowers. I'd look at that. Brown's secondary banged up. Tony Pollard. I just dropped him. I would sit him. Some sits. Najee Harris. Nico Collins, I disagree with that. Devontae Adams, I disagree with that.
When it comes to the fantasy start and sit stuff, it kind of all depends on matchups and who you have on your bench. It's like when it comes to some of those players that you just named off, to me, you're usually not going to not start them regardless of who they're playing unless you're just loaded.
Right.
Like Nico, he doesn't have CJ Stroud, but who do you have in your wing that you're going to replace Nico with that you drafted, or maybe got lucky on. Like I don't see you dropping him unless you can play. I don't know. He's still a top 20 guy. How many teams you got in your league? I think you're playing Achan again every single week. If you're not playing Achan, like why did you draft him? As far as like weird plays here, I definitely, I brought him up earlier, but Parker Washington probably available in some leagues still. With Travis Hunter being out the rest of the year, he's going to be a guaranteed number 2 guy behind Brian Thomas, who already hasn't looked that great this year. So, look at Parker Washington over, or maybe do a touchdown prop for him because he returns punts and he's had 3 already this year. He's gone for a touchdown. Trying to think here, other guys. Look at who else is hurt here. You've got some injuries in this Tampa Bay Buffalo game. Always if you're looking to do player props and you want to bet overs, the best thing is to do is take props from the game that has the highest point total. So that's where you're going to have the most expected points. And for this week, that would be Pittsburgh-Cincinnati, which I'm sure there's a ton of people on both of those teams that aren't really highly rostered because, we don't think about those teams, Cincinnati without Joe Burrow and Pittsburgh just being a non-offensive team. But, you could look at over on passing yards for either of the quarterbacks, over on receiving yards for like people like Yosavash or Calvin Austin or some of these guys that aren't highly looked at, so their numbers are going to stay a little more still. They're not going to fluctuate as much. Like I bet Jamar Chase's number on that game is just outrageous, like something you don't even really want to look at. But some of the other receivers, they might not have touched like that to make them overvalued. So I'd look at the Steelers-Bengals game for player props. I really like the Buffalo-Tampa game. Now, depending if it's super duper cold, it looks like it's going to be under 40 degrees potentially. So maybe stick to the running game there with James Cook and, Vele or whoever Tampa decides to roll out there. And then the other game I'd probably look at that's going to be a little undervalued is the Bears-Vikings game. Not a lot of belief in JJ or Caleb Williams, so I think some of the receiving props there will be a bit lower or undervalued than they should. So JJ, Jalen Naylor, Rome Odunze, Colston Loveland, the tight end. I would look at those guys. What about you? And it's running Seattle game too. I think you can probably take anybody in that game. And
I completely agree with everything you said. I was doing some homework over here while you were doing that. Someone we haven't talked about. Did you bring up Xavier Worthy? I think he's a great one to look at. And really anybody in the Tennessee matchup, anybody in the Cowboys-Raiders game, I think there's a lot of upside for all of those guys. But, I just, every week I play and I want to be done because my team was terrible. And, then Tuesday waiver wires come out and I think I did something cool. And then I come back hating it. It's a toxic relationship. But shout out to the players, Trey McBride, who give you 28 points one week and then 3.1 the next. You know who you are. You owe me some money.
Trey McBride.
So let's move on.
I just had a big Trey McBride trade in my my dynasty fantasy league.
Congratulations.
They dropped it, or they dropped him. They traded him for 2 first-round picks. So I think that worked out for him.
So let's just move on to the next segment here. Off the field talk. So again, we've talked about Dable being fired, Kyler Murray trade rumors, which ties into the next thing we want to talk about: gaming. Call of Duty, the new season has dropped. NFL players already tweeting about taking film study breaks. That's probably something Kyler Murray is going to do Madden ratings update incoming. So a lot of good stuff. Um, weather destroying tailgates.
Yeah, I, for these guys that are promoting this new Call of Duty game, to me, it's just all marketing BS. If you still think that
Yeah,
Call of Duty's a good game, you're a chooch. You're an idiot. Uh, quite frankly,
clown.
I mean,
Well, I mean,
absolute
probably
clown.
probably a probably a middle schooler. I mean, the only
Oh,
people
what's
I
the
think
new
that play Call of
feature?
Duty.
Oh, they're bringing zombies back. Oh, Battlefield, way better. Arc
Jeez, Rick.
Raiders, way
Oh,
better.
jeez, Rick.
Yeah, literally. It's some
Go play
kangaroo court.
Fortnite.
Some kangaroo court,
Yeah.
Rick.
Jeez, Rick. Oh, Fortnite's better than Call of Duty. Oh,
Low
Battlefield's
key.
pretty fun too, but it's too expensive.
Yeah, I mean they make you pay $90 for a game, and then you got to pay extra for another game, and then they've got everybody's got a field pass now, so all this cosmetic stuff, you know,
Microtransactions,
yeah, which
bullshit.
ruins everything. But also, I just think consistently the gunplay and what made Call of Duty good originally was the realness and the gunplay. When you go back to games like Modern Warfare 2 or even Black Ops
World at
2,
War.
World at
World at
War,
War.
like
Greatest Call of Duty ever made.
the gunplay's it's just janky and awful now, and not the devs don't
Well,
give a
you
rat about cheating. There's so many cheaters on
know.
Call of Duty, and they do nothing. Uh,
Well, here's the thing. You go from something like World at War, where there's a scene where there's a Japanese soldier just cut in the throat of a U.S. Marine, which is terrible, but graphic. It's a war game, right? So now you got Seth Rogen running around going ha 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 and hitting a blunt. I mean, what are we doing?
yeah,
What are we doing, Call of Duty?
yeah, yeah. It's not. They think they know what the kids want, but unfortunately, all their fans are getting to our age now, and they're seeing past the BS.
Can, can we talk about Halo potentially releasing cross-platform and remastering?
I didn't hear about that, but that's another one that's dead.
No.
Yeah, they're dead.
My whole life, I've been waiting for Halo to come out on PlayStation, and if I get that wish, I'll be happy.
Well, you know why they're doing that? It's because Xbox is dying. Like
Xbox, oh yeah,
they're not
well,
making another console.
PC and PS5.
And PlayStation actually won the war. It's been confirmed now. Although
Yeah.
I did just see Steam. Not to get too far off topic. You know what Steam is, right? The computer app where you get games on your
Yeah,
computer.
I got Steam
Yeah,
on my PC
they
Master Race
they just
setup.
made a console. Steam has their own console now, so they're
I'm not
gonna
buying it.
they're gonna
That's
try to
interesting.
compete. I don't think they'll win, but
Yeah, there's a lot of talk the next gen console is going to have. If it's almost like the next gen console is going to be a PS5. For example, the PS6 would be like a PS5 hybrid with a PC, like a souped up PC. It's supposed to be able to get on the internet again, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's kind of in line with Steam coming out with something. But yeah, Xbox is dead.
yeah. But I
But
mean, other than that,
every time you say "butta," you owe me like a soda or something.
do a tally, do a little bell drop for it.
Bing.
Yeah, I won't be playing new Call of Duty. I won't buy it. I won't be playing it. Don't care. I
I agree.
franchise to me is dead. I think they're dead.
Yeah.
If they don't have these YouTubers like these streamers and I've been watching. Me. I'm on that shit. If they're not going to be playing it, they will die. And everybody right now is playing Arc Raiders and the new Battlefield. So they'll run over for it for a minute. Call of Duty will pay these guys to play it for a stream or two. But after a while, I've already heard it out of the main guys, Cloaksy and Nick Merckx and all these guys. They already don't mess with it. And if that's how they truly feel, eventually they'll die. They'll have no marketing. You'll have Scump and those guys. They'll play it religiously forever because that's how their careers got made. But like FaZe, they don't even play video games anymore, so they're not going to be on it. I just think there's a lot of other games that are way more developed and worked on, and these guys that are playing for careers now, live streaming, 12 hours a day. they want a good game, or they're not going to play it. It's their job now.
Yep.
So it's not just for fun anymore, boys.
All right, folks, that's week 11, the chaos, the bets, the fantasy heartbreak. Thanks to all of our listeners, our supporters. As the channel grows, you're one of the OGs. Some big news. We do have trademark pending, so we're one step closer to official.
Real deal.
Real deal, guys. Again, if you like anything you'd like to add, let us know. We'll make a separate video talking about world news. Hop on over to that. And again, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and see you next week.
Yeah, chat with us. We'll talk at you later.
Peace. Peace.